What is going on, everybody? Crypto Clay tapping in. How's it going? I hope everyone's doing great on this wonderful Monday. It's a little rainy where I'm at, but at least it's not too cold. I get tired of that cold sometimes. It gets pretty bad. Man, the crypto market, woo, Bitcoin, she's ripping, she's on a roll right now. Sitting this moment, we're at $21,348 for Bitcoin. We're at $1,588 for Ethereum. Awesome that we're finally getting some green day. I'm still not going to get fooled by it. Look at Solana. We all thought Solana was going to keep dying down into $3-4 range, but here we are. She's ripping. Even though Solana is like the new kid on the block and we like to talk shit and it's basically garbage, I think it's too far embedded in everything at this point with all these different ecosystems that I don't think Solana is going to go anywhere. But some of it could get dumped off over the years as these lawsuits from the contagion sum up. Who knows what's going to happen with the supply. For me lately, I've been DCAing into Stellar Lumens, Flare network at these prices, and Core and Sologenic personally. And that's what we're going to talk about today is Core, because in one of my last videos I brought up Core, but I was a degenerate and I didn't show you the white paper. I can't show you a crypto project like first time on the channel and talk about it and not bring up a white paper for you to go back. If I talk about it later down the road, you should be able to reference my white paper video, right? Or at least somebody has brought up the white paper. That's what I hate is a lot of crypto content creators. They'll mention a crypto project or something going on in the space and they don't show the white paper. It's like, come on, dude. But before that, let's talk about the 200-week moving average heat map for Bitcoin. Look at that. We're still underneath the 200 MA. Man, the 200-week moving average, dude. We're still underneath that. And today, the 200 WMA is 24,555. So in my opinion, I will believe we have bottomed and the bear market is essentially over and we're just in for some chop all the way to new all-time highs. I'll believe that we're on that trajectory when we get above this 200-week moving average and we settle on top of it and it proves to be support, at least once or twice, just like it has in the past. But we've also never spent this much time below the 200-week moving average either. So we're already in uncharted territory. It's already not behaving the same. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens over the next couple of months. You want my prediction? I don't like to make predictions, but my prediction is some bullishness all the way into spring. And then from my experience, spring has usually been bearish. You know what I mean? And then we'll see what happens with the economic conditions around the world, right? The DXY is plummeting, which that may be a major contributing factor into Bitcoin going up in price, because Bitcoin was created to thrive in economic uncertainty. That's what its purpose is. Anyway, that's a different video. We're talking about Coreum. So Coreum, or Core, is a third-generation Layer 1 blockchain built to serve as a core infrastructure for future decentralized applications. Okay? And people have been getting their core airdrop by holding Sologenic. And if you hold Sologenic, XRP, Core, you've established a Core trust line in your wallets. You've established an X-Core trust line in your wallets. Then on March 24th, there will be a snapshot. And then you will receive airdrops of Core and X-Core. And then X-Core is tied to a smart contract. And we can talk about that later. If it doesn't reach a certain price, then it will, by a certain date, then it will automatically convert just into Core and not be X-Core. Anyways, so Coreum's architecture Community-powered consensus mechanism. Coreum uses a bonded proof-of-stake consensus mechanism that allows for staking, non-custodial delegating, slashing, and governance. Ooh, do the people in control of the system love slashing? You know, that's why they hate Ethereum. There's no slashing. There's no control mechanism, right? And that, unfortunately, that's going to be the future. But it also allows for a more liquid trust, right, over that blockchain infrastructure. So validators, rewards, and token issuance, an inflationary blockchain. Variable inflation. On each block, some tokens will be minted and added to a rewards pool alongside fees to incentivize validators and delegators. Interesting. The inflation rate will be inversely proportional to the value locked. So the inflation rate will be inversely proportional to the total value locked. Chain token issuance, minting, and tokenization. With native support for the issuance of any fungible and non-fungible assets on chain, Coreum takes asset issuance and minting to the next level. This built-in functionality even allows issuers to customize their tokenized assets with optional features for when it comes to the heavily regulated financial markets like stocks and ETFs. So, okay, there's wallet whitelisting, there's token burns, and token freezes. So remember that. I noticed that with Sologenic is within certain trust lines, the issuer of that token can freeze tokens. Interesting, huh? Talk about a control mechanism. The core token is the native token of the Coreum blockchain, a transactional token that facilitates all operations and functionalities within the network. Initial supply, 500 million. Token symbol core. So it's no ICO, community airdrop to XRP and solo holders. So cool. That's one thing that's really cool, but we'll get into this more. Use cases, tokenized securities, stablecoin ecosystems, liquidity market providers, cross-border payments, because lending platforms, wrapped cryptocurrencies, metaverse applications, decentralized exchanges, NFT marketplaces, gaming and play-to-earn apps. Coreum versus existing blockchains. I thought this was interesting. Yeah, they always use Bitcoin as garbage, and then they use Ethereum's next, right? This is kind of an interesting website here, how they have this structured. So they're calling XRP a first-gen blockchain, 1,500 transactions per second, transaction fees low, block time 4 seconds, energy consumption low, consensus mechanism, RPCA, and then smart contracts, no, and DeFi, no. But they do have NFTs now live, so that's good on XRP. It does have a native decentralized exchange built into it. And does it have distributed cloud computing storage built into it? No, XRP does not. So Coreum is in this image here, this little breakdown. First, these other blockchains, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polkadot, and even XRP, which it does leverage the XRP ledger, seems to check all its own boxes of blockchain features like interoperability, on-chain governance, transactions per second, transaction fees, block time, right? So here they're boasting Coreum has up to 7,000 transactions per second, low transaction fees, block time only 1.5 seconds, and it has distributed cloud storage computing capabilities. It has a native decentralized exchange, and you can do smart contracts over it. That's freaking amazing. So we're going to get into the white paper here. I'm going to zoom in on this, dude, because I'm old. So I'm going to link the white paper below. I'll read the abstract. Why not? The advent of blockchain technology has attracted huge interest in modern times. Through various protocols, the blockchain plays an important role in every business vertical. Some blockchains, such as Bitcoin, are a great store of value. Others, like Ethereum, promise to verify and execute application code, while smart contract engines such as EVM are great for numerous types of applications. They remain non-deterministic and non-scalable. Burn! The Coreum blockchain is distinct in many ways and incentivizes the network participants to conduct more transactions by providing bulk fee discounts. It is designed to solve real-world problems at scale by providing native token management systems such as decentralized exchange, a DEX built in, which while being fully decentralized. In addition to the built on-chain solutions, Coreum uses WebAssembly, WASM, to process smart contracts and uses the Tendermint Byzantine fault tolerance consensus mechanism and Cosmos SDK's proven bonded proof of stake. So that's how they're getting their smart contracts, is through the Cosmos SDKs. So furthermore, Coreum is built for token ecosystems such as digital assets issuing, stablecoins, traditional asset tokenization, CBDCs, and NFTs. So at the heart of every blockchain lies the consensus mechanism. Quorum utilizes Tendermint, a well-established consensus engine that many blockchains rely on. The Cosmos SDK makes use of Tendermint to provide tooling and pre-made modules for the building of application-specific blockchains with a proof-of-stake security mechanism. Coreum will be built on top of Tendermint and Cosmos SDK while making changes whenever necessary. This will allow the new Layer 1 to tap into the vast ecosystem built around the Cosmos SDK, such as wallets, explorers, and other modules. Pretty crazy that they're leveraging the Cosmos SDK. I guess I gotta buy some Cosmos now. It's one that I've been avoiding, not because I think it's bad or anything. I think it's amazing. I missed out on it so long ago that I feel like I've missed any kind of opportunity. But I guess I gotta have a few if it's now intertwined with the XRP ecosystem. You know what I mean? So Tendermint and Cosmos SDK. I'm going to link the white paper down below. So interoperability with other blockchains. So Coreum will enable communication to and from other blockchains. Users will be able to transfer tokens from external blockchains into the Coreum and vice versa. This interoperability works by locking or burning the tokens in the source chain and minting them on the target chain. Thus, when the token is transferred back from the target chain onto the source chain, it is burned on the target and unlocked in the source. For Cosmos SDK-based chains, Coreum will use the IBC protocol, which is available as an open source component. IBC is an interoperability protocol designed for communicating arbitrary data between arbitrary state machines. Interesting. It consists of two layers: data transfer layer, application layer. Coreum will implement communication layers either via IBC or bridge to communicate with the following blockchains, with more to follow down the line. So I talked about this list in my last video. I just thought it was an interesting list, that this is the first list that they will integrate with: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, which Ripple isn't a blockchain. It should say XRP. So I don't know. Solana, Binance Chain, and Binance Smart Chain, and Cosmos Atom. Interesting. Sidechains. In computer science, there's an invariable limit on how much you can scale a software by adding more resources to it, called vertical scaling. The solution to that problem is parallelism, formerly known as horizontal scaling. Coreum is incurring heavy research and development around the use of sidechains for exponential scalability and the production of more throughput when needed. A single chain can do up to 7,000 simple transactions per second. Consequently, by adding a single sidechain, the throughput is increased to 14,000. Of course, there are applications that cannot run on multiple sidechains, for example, a DEX. For such use cases, a dedicated chain will run individually. The image below provides an overview of how sidechains will look like. So let's break this down. There's a DEX chain, an asset chain, smart chain A, smart chain B, smart chain N. One is a DEX, one's an asset that's been issued and tokenized, and the other ones are smart contracts built on the WebAssembly smart contract platform, right? And if each sidechain can do 7,000 transactions per second, up to, if you add all that together, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going on, right? That gives you 42,000 transactions per second. And this is apparently infinitely scalable. So this is the juice here, guys. This is the freaking juice of Coreum. Okay, infinitely scalable sidechains. Holy shit. As mentioned before, Coreum will use Cosmos SDK's bonded proof of stake security scheme to build its own blockchain. A short description of the most important parts of the BPOS will be provided here. Staking. Staking is one of the most important components of a proof of stake blockchain. It ensures the network remains secure while giving validators and delegators a passive income by staking their core tokens and getting rewards. So more passive income we're earning here from holding XRP. Don't forget snapshot date March 24th. Hold it in solo decks, right? Or I think you can use Zum wallet and establish trust lines through there. In fact, staking is the backbone of every proof of stake consensus. Duh. A proof of stake network is secured when a stakeholder locks their tokens and gets voting power in exchange. Then they use that voting power to vote on each block. The assumption is that it is the benefit of the stakeholder just to secure the network, since the value of their asset depends on the security of the network itself. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here we go. Inflation rate. So it can be deduced that the more tokens are locked as stake, the more secure the network is. For example, if the total value locked as stake is about 1% of the entire token value, then if an attacker controls 1/3 of that 1%, they can halt the network. But if 75% is locked as TVL, then they need to control 25% of the total value to halt the network. So a proof of stake network must encourage its participants to stake and reach a reasonably high total value locked percentage. Given the fact that only incentivization mechanism in proof of stake is block rewards, then if there are enough transactions in each block, more fees will be collected and more people will stake their tokens. But if there are not enough transactions happening, then the rewards will be too low and the TVL will go down, bringing risk to the network. To accommodate for that problem, variable inflation is introduced, meaning that some tokens will be minted on each block, added to block rewards alongside fees, and passed to the validators and delegators to incentivize them to provide more stake, and the amount of inflation rate is inversely proportional to the total value locked. If TVL is equal or higher than the target value, then the inflation rate goes down to its minimum, and if it's not, it will go up, but is an upper limit to the inflation rate. So that's good. So there is an upper limit to the inflation rate, but I guess that's good. So it's kind of like modulating inflation rate. Interesting. These tokens will be minted in a manner that a maximum yearly inflation rate is observed. It is evident that the minting will introduce inflation to the system, which will further incentivize non-stakers to effectively stake their tokens so their assets don't lose value. It must be noted that if there are enough transactions in each block and enough incentivization is produced from transaction fees, so that stakers are locking enough stake to meet the target TVL, then the inflation will not be necessary and will automatically go down to zero. That's pretty sick. That is sick. So it's not like continuously minting new shit. It's just if that ratio of total value locked reaches a certain level, then it will increase inflation. Interesting. So there will be 16 active validators on the Coreum blockchain. That's not very many, and I don't like that, guys. That there's only 16 active validators on the Coreum blockchain, including 9 public and 7 super validators with a fixed number of active validators. So it has a fixed number of active validators and an arbitrary number of public and super validators, and a round robin mechanism will be used to choose the active ones from the pool of public and super validators for the duration of the active validator interval. So you can go in and read this, but basically they're saying there's a pool that you belong to, and who becomes part of the 9 public active validators is randomized through each block. So even though there's only 16 active validators and 9 of them are public, at least it's rotating, right? At least it's rotating from a pool. Rewards first will be split between public validators and super validators according to their seats, meaning that if there are 9 public validators and 7 super validators, then 7 out of 16 of the rewards will go to super validators and 9 out of the 16 to public validators. It will then be split among each set in proportion to their stake. So here's slashing, and as important as it is to incentivize the contribution of validators by rewarding them, it is important to punish them on certain occasions for bad behavior. This protocol is called slashing. The mechanism for slashing is taken directly from the Cosmos SDK mole with the same name, and readers can refer to that for more details, but a general description will be provided here as well. So the 2 punishments are jailing and slashing for misbehavior, example, not showing up to vote on a block, or counterfactual signing, such as double signing, rejecting a valid block. The liveliness misbehavior is taken to be unintentional, but the counterfactual signing is assumed to be a malicious one, so the punishment is worse. So this is the Coreum proof of stake consensus mechanism, allows for an on-chain governance ecosystem that enables stakeholders to vote on various decisions to upgrade and improve the chain over time. That's super cool. The Coreum community can decide on protocol changes and vote on new proposals to the chain. As some blockchains like Ethereum do not offer any sort of on-chain governance features, Coreum engages the community to participate in key decisions. The following is a life cycle of proposals on the Coreum blockchain. Proposal submission, voting, inheritance and penalties, and claiming deposit. Okay, smart contracts. The Coreum blockchain will be able to store and execute smart contracts. In essence, a smart contract is a computer program that can be stored in a blockchain with the purpose of later being instantiated and executed. Although literature on smart contracts dates back to 1994, when Nick Szabo first introduced the concept, Ethereum was the pioneer in making a widely adopted implementation. While EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine, was great at the time for smart contract execution, it shows some of the shortcomings in various aspects. Some of these shortcomings are security flaws like re-entrancy attacks, arithmetic over and underflows. It's got lack of support for integers smaller than 256 bits. And I actually remember something Vitalik Buterin talking about that, about he regrets having lack of support for integers smaller than 256 bits on the Ethereum chain. I don't know if the recent changes to the blockchain have improved that. I'm not sure. Another shortcoming is tight coupling between contract and solidity language, and I don't fully understand that. So they believe WebAssembly, WASM, is a much greater engine for smart contract execution and has great scalability and support. It was developed by the W3C World Wide Web Consortium, of course it was, with support from companies such as Mozilla, Google, and others. While being portable, turning complete and efficient, developers can write their smart contracts in many different programming languages, such as C, C++, C#, Rust, JavaScript, TypeScript, Hoxie, Kotlin, and Go. WASM is fast, efficient, open, debuggable, platform independent, and memory safe, which makes it perfect for a smart contract execution. Since Coreum blockchain relies heavily on the Cosmos ecosystem, Wasm is the chosen platform to handle smart contracts. Wasm is a smart contract engine and an important part of Cosmos infrastructure. It is written as a module that can plug into the Cosmos SDK. It facilitates the execution of smart contracts in different chains using the Cosmos inter-blockchain communication protocol. Wasm is designed to be a multi-chain solution for building smart contracts that allow the execution of the same contract in different chains. Just by writing a Wasm contract, you can run contracts on the whole Cosmos ecosystem. It's going to go into the Cosm Wasm architecture. I won't go too far into that. The decentralized exchange is a native built-in exchange functionality within the Coreum blockchain. Although by using smart contracts it is possible to achieve swapping or trading, Coreum aims to build this feature directly in the blockchain core system to allow for a low-fee, secure, and fast trading activity with support for all modern trading features. So then we talk about creating and minting tokens, token properties. You can whitelist. So whitelisting restricts the usage of a given token to a subset of authorized addresses. This feature enables some token creators to comply with regulations that require KYC AML and can be extremely useful for institutional and governmental type user types. Fungible versus non-fungible. Some examples of fungible and non-fungible being intellectual properties, unique monkey faces, avatars. That's funny. Physical properties, land, houses, artwork, financial assets, loans, burdens, and other responsibilities. I like that. So this is one thing that has me kind of concerned, but also it's true to other things going on in this ecosystem. An account freeze essentially means suspending the ability to transfer and receive account tokens. Token issuers can define if an asset can be frozen by its issuer on a specified account. Moreover, the freeze can be applied to specific addresses or to all token holders, a global freeze, and it can be applied to the total balance of an address or only to a portion of the balance. So that's kind of sketch that there is some control to whoever issues tokens over this specific blockchain. So here's some of the use cases listed in the white paper. Tokenized securities, it gives an example of Sologenic, liquidity partners, cross-border payments, banking and remittance, I'm sure through its connection to XRP and Ripple, stablecoin ecosystems, lending platforms, wrapped cryptocurrencies, decentralized exchanges, metaverse applications, NFT marketplaces, gaming, and play-to-earn apps. So here it's talking about the allocation of what's being distributed to everybody, and then the rest of its references there. So the mainnet will be launching soon, and there will be a snapshot. I mentioned it before prior to that, and it will be on March 24th, 2023, around 4 a.m. UTC. So you gotta get ready for that snapshot, guys. And I wanted to, point out some other weird little thing with gematria to do with Coreum. And I gotta put the tinfoil hat on for this one. So we go into our gematria calculator, right? Let's put up our Chaldean cipher here. Update. Look at this. We got Jupiter. Jupiter and Chaldean. Jupiter and Chaldean, we got 27. Boom. We got Ripple. Oh, not with 3 P's. There's only 2 P's. 27 in Chaldean. Okay. And then look at this. Coreum. Boom. 27. What were we just talking about? Coreum. So they all have their ties to Jupiter. Interesting, huh? Jupiter translating to Zeus, Zeus and Jupiter being the god of the gods. So the god of all gods. This is Crypto Clay. Tapping out. Peace and love.